Hi, I'm Sandra at Studio V, One Tama. We have a very special guest with us today. She's a TV host, singer, songwriter, actress, and entrepreneur all in one. And this pretty face is definitely a familiar one to us Malaysians. She's none other than Hannah Tan.
Hi Sandra.
So Hannah, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm getting older this year, actually every year. Time flies so fast, and I'm actually very proud to be here in the new studios of the Star Online. It's a very interesting studio, the first of its kind. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I understand that you're working on your second album, am I right?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about it.
The second album has, well, I would say it's something that reflects on who I truly am as a person, because the second album would actually be the first for me. Something that is very personal, because I had a hand in decision making, and the music, the songs, the lyrics are personally written and composed. So I would say it's an expression of what I believe in, and a mirror of my true personality, something personal for the fans.
So what kind of image are you trying to convey, and what kind of image to your music, like what kind of message do you want to send out to the young people who are listening to it?
Well, I believe that music is an expression, and especially with the fact that, you know, by writing your own songs and your own lyrics, you're expressing what you believe in, number one, and expressing the sentiments of what goes on around you in your life, the people that influence your life, the everyday activities that you go through that shape your perception on things. And my first single was titled Making the Difference, which is actually my motto. And I suppose in this album I want to express what I believe in, and what Hannah Tan truly stands for, instead of something that's manufactured off shelf just for the commercial value.
So it's a more personal, intimate.
Yeah.
At what age did you know that, you know, this was what I wanted to do, this is what I'm going to do?
Well, music has always been my passion. I realized that I could write music when one day I actually cheated during piano practice, because my dad made me, I started learning music at the age of 4.
Wow.
My dad has made me practice and sit on the piano for 1 hour every day to make sure I get my pieces right. So there's one day I got really lazy, so I decided to just play my own music. So he would usually sit beside me at the piano to make sure I'm doing my work. So I just opened the book, put it in front of me at the piano, and just played my own stuff. And he didn't realize that it's not from the book. So I thought, hey, this way I can actually write my own music. And so since then, I realized that, you know, if I could do that, then if I could pen it down on manuscript, then I could have something that I can keep, which mirrors. At that time, I didn't understand about music writing, but what I played was a reflection of how I felt at that time, you know. So it's all an expression. So since then, I realized that, hey, maybe I should, you know, write my own songs. So that's when I started getting into music writing.
A natural talent.
Amateur level, no.
But who inspired you to continue writing music, to keep trying, even though when you first discovered it?
Well, I suppose they are the old school composers that we all study from, Beethoven, Bach, and all that. Then there's all the contemporary musicians, the artists today that create their own stuff. But then again, not just restrained or constrained to music alone. I believe that, you know, it's the everyday people that inspire me, you know, the day-to-day people, the everyday heroes. But I take my hats off to Malaysians that have gone the extra mile to make a difference for our country. You know, people like Datuk Tony Fernandez, Datuk Michelle Yeoh, Datuk Jimmy Choo, who have actually created a brand, and that's what I'm trying to encourage young Malaysians to do now, to make the difference with what they have and create Malaysian brands individually according to their unique identity, based on the talents and skills that we individually have. I mean, everybody gave us, God gave us a talent each. So it's what we do with it that makes the difference.
Oh, inspiring. Well, on to the latest events. It's been all over the news that you're moving to Japan. So the question is, of all the countries, why Japan?
Well, I thought, I want to go on a regional expansion, expand a base within Asia. So the question I was asking myself is, which is the furthest point in Asia that I can go? And how far do I want to take the Malaysian brand to? So I figured, we can go Southeast Asia, still in the comfort zone. Then there is Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan. So one of the areas that I actually studied in, which I took into consideration, was the wave of entertainment. Now, if you notice, anime is a big thing. It's the new form of entertainment which is taking the world by storm. And originating from where? Japan. It's been around in Japan for decades, centuries, but it's only now that the US and UK is following on the wave. Like Prada is designing clothes for anime, Britney Spears is doing an animation music video. So that's one thing, the wave of anime. So points to Japan. Also, if we ask ourselves, who are the leaders in digital technology? I call it digitech. Innovations, whether it be multimedia or even electrical electronics, we look at Japan. So then, there you go. And I also wanted to, because I've been designing as well, so jewelry, like stuff like this, the logo, and clothes. So then I also thought, if I were to go into retailing and franchising, or into couture brands, if I were to study the fashion market, most of the fashion labels actually premiere in New York, Milan, and Tokyo, no more Paris. So I figured if I want to get all three things done, and you weigh the different cities, in terms of livability, technology, and everything else, where should I put my money? Because I consider this like a business investment. Bringing myself into a different place and trying to set up a base where I can market Malaysian-made content, something that is truly Malaysian. So I figured Japan is the furthest, and it's to be honest, it's one of the toughest cities in Asia to penetrate in terms of culture, business-wise as well, and of course the language. But then again, we look at Japan as the pinnacle of Asian culture. So my challenge would be to make it in Japan, because if you can make it in Japan, then you basically can make it anywhere.
I agree with that. So with the language problem, how are you dealing with that?
Classes. No shortcut. Putting myself there, and I suppose forcing myself to learn in that kind of environment. I figured if I threw myself in the sea, then I'll be forced to learn how to swim in the deep end. So that's what I'm doing. Challenge.
Do you mind saying a little something first?
Sorry?
Something Japanese that you've learned so far.
Something Japanese. Arigatou gozaimasu. Like when you say dozo means please.
Oh, okay. Right. So besides the language barrier, what other problems or difficulties will you find hard adapting to in Japan?
I would say another challenge would be trying to comprehend their business, the business culture. They do business in a very totally different way, and in terms of mannerism, code of ethics, code of conduct is entirely different, and they're very detailed, meticulous, and very particular about details. So it's getting adjusted to that because the working pace in Tokyo especially is at least 4 to 5 times faster than what we are accustomed to here in KL. So usually, for example, in Malaysia, if you send a business proposal, you go and meet a client, you talk about it, you meet, and then yes, where can we go next from here? And then you set another meeting. So in Japan, it's okay, you have a business proposal, fine, we agree to work. The next step is to set up a team. The team for them is set up the next day. And so then you would have to have your backup documents to carry on from there. Not like how we work here in Malaysia, a process which takes about 2 months would be 2 weeks there. So if they ask you a question, they would probably expect an answer yesterday. So level of efficiency is very high, and it's the pace. But I figured, you know, if it's 4 or 5 paces faster, it only means that you're more productive, so you can get more things done. So it's just getting accustomed to that, and it's all a change of mindset. What I admire about the Japanese, and I hope that Malaysians can follow, is the mindset of supporting their own industry, goods, services, which also mirrors their entertainment industry. Japanese support Japanese artists. They are very proud to buy Japanese-made goods. They are proud about Japanese services. They are proud to spend money in Japan. So Malaysians should do that, and that's what will keep the economy afloat. So
you've definitely done your research. So, do you intend to return to Malaysia?
Of course. This move to Japan is not to run away from Malaysia, actually. Contrary to popular belief, I love my country. I'm proud to be Malaysian, and the reason why I'm going is because I want to bring something back for our country and create an alliance. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from the Japanese culture and all that. So it's something I want to take back, and I also want to bring to Japan Malaysian content, because they are not very open to non-Japanese talents. Yeah. So getting them to agree to work with me is one thing. So I want to bring more Malaysian talents there to say that, hey, Malaysia has talent and this is what we can do. So we have what it takes to make the difference.
We'll be right back after this.